All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order. Welcome to our special meeting for the City of Lyndon on December 15th. We're going to ask that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome again, everybody. I'm going to have City Clerk Ms. Woodward call roll.
Susan Bartow. Here. Jenny Benner. Here. Becky Ricketts. Here. Marty Sidebottom. Vicki Stanley. Here. Amy Stuber. Jim Yates.
Here.
John Singler.
Here.
All right, with two in absence, we still have a quorum. Next order of business is to, I need a motion from the table, or from the floor, to bring the tabled minutes from November 17th caucus meeting minutes back up.
I make a motion to approve minutes.
We're going to bring them from the table first, sir. The 17th, so that's a motion to bring from the table in a second.
I second.
Second. Thank you. Those in favor? Thank you. So now we're going to go to the corrections since they've been brought from the table. Ms. Ricketts.
On the minutes of November 17th, we had some changes that some of the council submitted, and in the first paragraph, I just mentioned this to the clerk, in the one paragraph where you have in your hand, council said edited, in the second paragraph, last sentence, this Councilmember Jim Yates asked, and then if you got your corrected minutes from the clerk that are highlighted the other day, that is a little bit more clear in these minutes that are highlighted and not in the edited ones. So these 17th that say edited, second paragraph, second to last sentence, Councilman Yates reiterated, blah, blah, blah. And it should read, Councilmember Yates asked if the site would be subject to property taxes. Mr. Asbrunner informed Mr. Yates the land itself is a state property of the University of Lowell and is exempt, but to his understanding, the improvements, quote, in quote, parentheses, building, in parentheses, would be taxed. So it just makes it a little clear, and I think, Stacy, we're okay with that. With the highlighted change? Okay.
Yes.
Were there any other corrections, additions from the council on that? So, Ms. Ricketts, is that a motion to approve with those changes?
Yes, sir, it is.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Yates. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Those minutes pass. On to the November 24th council meeting. They've been distributed. Any additions or corrections?
I make a motion we approve the November 24th council meeting minutes. I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Stanley. A second from Ms. Bartow. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes passed. Very good. Okay, we're going to move on to our treasurer's report. I'm going to bring up Ms. Sonia Kaiser, our treasurer.
Our beginning balance is $3,704,943.42 with receipts $1,197,402.95. Disbursements $517,134.99. An ending balance of $4,385,211.38.
Are there any questions from the council about the treasurer's report?
Sonia, I have a question, and it may just be a matter of the way we print it out. On the variance report, under computer maintenance, I think it's the third page. The second entry, this computer maintenance / BC3.
Yes.
Are we still with BC3 or are we using it for something?
No, that does need to be removed. Thank you.
So we need to correct
Right.
the BC3 out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Chief Schroeder, police report if you got it, sir.
Good evening. Last time I spoke to you all about a car break-in situation that we were having. That is still ongoing. If you saw the news recently, Metro just made a big arrest on one group that's doing it. However, there are still multiple groups out there doing it. So diligence in regards to locking our cars and calling the police if we see something is still out there. And I would just like to caution everybody, as I did last time, to our knowledge, a lot of these folks are armed, so please do not confront them. Please call us and we'll be glad to take care of them. For the month of November, Lyndon officers had a total of 231 reporting activities out of the Kentucky Ops system. 104 of those were in Lyndon. 97 of those were various citations, including arrests. Overall, year to date, as of the end of November, that would be 2,679 activities, with 1,213 of those being in Lyndon. For our hourly report out on the year, with the caveat that we were still operating out of Graymore City Hall for the majority of the year, 73.1% of our actual hours were in Lyndon. For the year, for the month of November, which I think is a more accurate representation, 79% of our hourly activities were in Lyndon. I'd like to recognize Officer Noor Jabari, who, if you recall, I mentioned his name a lot. He's gotten several awards. Well, most recently, he got the Governor's DUI Award, or I should say the Impaired Driving Award. He locked up 17 individuals for impaired driving offenses and represented Lyndon as a winner, so very good on him.
Chief, is Officer Jabari here?
He is not. He's off. On November 4th, Louisville community unfortunately experienced the devastation of the crash of UPS Flight 2967. That was really an all-hands-on-deck event for all public safety. Your Lyndon officers responded not by going to the scene, but assisting Metro as they diverted their officers to go down there and help. We made runs for Metro in their various service areas, so several of them stayed over to help out, so I'm very proud of them for that. With that said, do you have any questions on anything else? I'm glad to answer.
I have a question to follow up to what Councilmember Benner asked last month about budget and about expenses. Can you maybe help me understand if we have enough officers to cover the city of Lyndon, which I think has been stated on several occasions, why is it that we have overtime? Or we continue to have overtime?
We have various amounts of overtime. Sometimes we occasionally have personnel shortages. We're going to have that based on various schools, various other things. Some of the overtime may also represent highway safety overtime, which is where we have a grant through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. It's a federal grant that's run through the state to run overtime for traffic enforcement. That may be some of it. I don't have the particulars on that at the moment, but we can certainly look into that.
In the variance, there is a line item for the highway. There is a line item and it's zeros for the month, the month of November, and then the overtime shows up. So I guess I should ask the clerk, would some of that from overtime, regular overtime, start showing up under the KOHS instead?
It's when Deputy Chief Thomas gives me the payroll each bi-weekly period, he designates whether it is related to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, overtime or not. There, over the last maybe couple of times, there has not been a great deal of that recently.
Yeah, but there is certainly overtime that occurs, like I said, due to personnel shortages, due to schools, staffing, sickness. We've got 2 officers who've been out. 1 officer is injured, and 1 had some medical events in his family, which unfortunately ended up resulting in the death of his father. So he was out somewhat long-term for that, which created some personnel shortages. Also, we do have various events, like with our detectives. We had a stabbing in Lyndon that we had to call our detectives out to investigate, so that would result in overtime, things like that. Okay. But overtime's not a routine thing that we do.
I just noticed it each month on variance, and, we're very concerned about where money's going.
Yeah, we watch overtime pretty closely. You're certainly not free spending it, so, yeah.
Chief, if your guys are on investigation and it's close to their ending their shift, you don't stop the investigation or interrogation. The overtime like this is unexpected, but it does happen.
Yeah, we don't, and normally at the end of their shift, we do have that amount of administrative time. Normally, at the end of their shift, they would just allow that to fall under the administrative time. Our detectives are also pretty good about adjusting their schedules. Sometimes when things happen in the middle of the night, though, that's not always possible. As with the stabbing, that happened fairly late at night. So they work with us as best they can, but there are certainly events we just can't account for, and certainly, again, with the UPS flight, several of the officers stayed over, so we got some overtime related to that as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Chief? Thank you very much, sir. All right, we're going to move on to unfinished and old business. We'll go ahead and turn over to John Singler, City Attorney.
Okay, we want to talk about leaf spring tonight, and so if you look on your agenda, you will see two items related to leaf spring. You will see the ordinance 11-24-25. In summary, that is an ordinance to approve the rezone request. You will also see municipal order 12-15-25. That is a municipal order to deny the rezone request. I drafted it based on the comments of Vicki Stanley and her motion from last time. For the ordinance 11-24-25, that's the approval, the applicant has come forward with a proposed change to their proposal that everyone was forwarded to reduce the size of the building approximately 20%, to eliminate the landscape buffer waivers by revising the layout of the plan, revising that and moving the parking associated with the change in the reduction of square footages, frees up some area to, as they say, to limit the impact on the tree canopy in that area. And then finally, to contribute to a floodplain study, $10,000 for a floodplain study. And all of that was in the email that was sent to you. So to go along with the ordinance 11-24-25 approving the rezoning, they've made that offer. Okay? The municipal order 12-15-25 just denies the rezone proposal. So what I'm asking you to do is to make a decision on one or the other. Make a choice and take action. You would take action by making a motion to either approve ordinance 11-24-25 approving the development, or take action by making a motion to approve municipal order 12-15-25, which would deny the application.
Is there a discussion? Or
I was just going to go ahead and say, I'd like to do a municipal order 12-15-25.
Are you saying that you want to approve, making a motion to approve municipal order 12-15-25?
To deny, for denial.
The denial of zoning change. Yes.
Second.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Great.
Okay. I have several questions, and then related to this, and then possibly comments. One of my questions is, should this body deny the zoning, the next step, should they decide to go forward, would be to a judge? What would be their next step? Whoever wants to answer that.
There is no next step. If you take action to deny the proposal, then they have an ability to sue in circuit court.
So that's the next step.
In 30 days if they desire, but that's only if they desire to do that.
Exactly, so that is the next step. And I'm assuming, should they do that, Mr. Porter would continue to be the attorney in that suit?
No.
No, that would be something different.
Who are you saying is going to sue? Is it going to be, you're saying that the developer would sue? Okay, well then Steve is not going to be involved with that suit. He doesn't represent the developer.
Of course not. Would he represent the opposition in that suit? Would you continue to represent the opposition in that suit?
Be glad to help, yes.
Thank you. Okay, that was my question. I just wanted to make that clear, should go forward to that. The other thing I wanted to ask, and this may be a question to you, maybe to Mr. Porter, I'm not sure who. When we were told not to speak to any of our constituents or to have them speak to us, again, they are our constituents. When we came back with this concession, or when they came back with this concession, which thank you for at least thinking about it, we're told we can't ask any questions of our constituents. Can you explain to me how we can represent these people without understanding their thoughts on this process?
Yes, I can. So we have a short time frame here. We had comments from the public. We're not taking new evidence. We're not doing our own public hearing. So we're past that stage. What I discussed with Mr. Porter and with Mr. Ashburner is that if we got into that issue and there was a discussion about approving the development with these changes, that we would allow Mr. Ashburner to get up and present that, okay? And then we would ask Mr. Porter to get up on behalf of the folks that he represents and have him give him the same opportunity as Mr. Ashburner does to present that. So because our time frame is shortened, that seems like the best way to handle it.
What seems like the best way to handle it? What we're doing now?
What I just explained, which is...
So you are allowing them to get up to speak?
No,
Okay.
no ma'am.
All right.
Why don't you get an email
Got
with the changes?
I need to say, I want to make sure that we understand that we're voting on a zone, not necessarily on a project, but on the zoning change, okay? That's to protect any possibility of anything going in if that zoning change should be changed. So that's why I seconded the motion to not allow for the zoning change.
We were told we couldn't contact you all, but Lee Spring was allowed to.
What do you want me to do here?
Okay, so to continue my discussion, that was my question was for us not to hear. I didn't understand that, but since we are moving forward without either side being able to present their new points, I make a motion to...
No, wait, motion's on the floor.
I second the motion.
No, this has already been seconded.
All right, then I vote.
Okay, well, the vote hasn't been called for.
Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
so
I didn't hear the
are we
second.
done with discussion?
Yes.
We may as well be.
This is a roll call.
I think you should do a roll call.
We're going to have a roll call vote on municipal order 12-15-25 with the motion on the floor. Ms. Woodward.
Susan Bartow.
Yes.
Jenny Benner.
Yes.
Becky Ricketts.
Yes, but I mean, yes, we're voting no.
Yes to deny.
That's what you got.
Yes to deny, okay, yes to deny.
Vicki Stanley.
Yes.
Jim Yates.
Yes to deny.
Very good. Municipal order passes. Case 25 zone 0038 Leaf Spring Daycare, denial of zoning change from R4 to R5A. We're going to move on. Thank you, folks. All right, we're going to keep moving on with the agenda here. We have one other municipal order before you. It's 12-15-25A. This is establishing a policy for timely preparation and approval of minutes of regular and special meetings in accordance with KRS 61.835A and related to provision of the Kentucky Open Meetings Act. That has been distributed before you. Is there any discussion on the matter?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion
Motion to adopt municipal order 12-15-25. Yes, sir. A. Is there a second? Is there a second to establish a policy for the timely preparation and approval of minutes of all regular and special meetings in accordance with the Kentucky Open Meetings Act, which says the clerk or the clerk's designee shall prepare draft written minutes of each regular and special meeting of the City of Lyndon City Council within 5 business days following the conclusion of the meeting. Such minutes shall be distributed to all council members no later than 7 calendar days prior to the next regularly scheduled council meeting, or in the case of special meetings that occur less than 7 days apart, as soon as practicable. The draft minutes of the immediately preceding regular or special meeting shall be placed on the agenda of every regular city council meeting as the first item under approval of minutes. Because tabling minutes shouldn't be done, we should, as we did tonight, get the minutes passed immediately following the previous meeting.
I do have one objection to the municipal order. If we make that change, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
And that change is, she is, the secretary, thank you, the secretary is, I'm sorry, city clerk, I do apologize. Prepares a draft written within 5 business days, yet we don't receive it until 7 calendar days. Why can't it just be forwarded at that point so we have plenty of time?
So you make everything 5. I thought that was
Yeah,
clear in there.
that was my
Okay.
question as well. In
Within
some cases it says 5 days, in some cases it says 7 days, and it also says some 5 business days, and the other one says 7 calendar days, so is it gonna be?
It all depends on when your meetings, like this month, next month in January, by the way, you've got Martin Luther King Day on our normal 3rd Monday, which will not be a meeting. February will be the same thing with President's Day, so we will not have our regular scheduled caucus meeting due to those holidays.
So business days doesn't make sense, but the part about getting a test within 7 days, why can't it just be?
You just
right
tell
after?
me the numbers and what you want to call it, business or calendar, and we'll put it in there if you want to go ahead and move forward. This is to be in compliance with KRS 61.835.
I'm kind of curious why we need to even implement this, because I don't really, we don't have a problem, we just need to have the minutes in time that we can review it. And having them just 24 hours the same day as a meeting, that's not enough time.
That doesn't
to
happen
review.
that way. I don't know the last time we've ever given them to you the day before. And that's because we're getting, from their first draft that is sent, we're getting changes and corrections on the Friday before a meeting that we open on Monday morning from someone who's made changes. And so therefore, yes, it is within 24 hours, but it's the corrections that you've made that you're trying to ask our clerk to make that correction within hours of the meeting, which is just fine. But there's never been a situation that I can recall that you've gotten the minutes the day of the meeting, the actual printed copy of the minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened, it's been better lately. But I also think, I mean, even when we're getting edited copies of minutes, it should be highlighted. We don't even know, I don't know what's been
You guys
edited, because
send-
it just says edited at the top. So there's nothing's highlighted or underlined. So I think that
We sent you
bigger issue is
edited
just
copy
making sure that we get the minutes.
so you must not have received those, because the copy that you received in the mail that we discussed had the highlighted changes. And then Ms. Ricketts, that she made those changes, correct? Okay, so you had that printed.
But what we just got today just says edited and nothing's highlighted.
Let her.
What you get emailed to you is highlighted. I don't print them highlighted just because I just print it. Because
We just got a
it's
color
the way that
copier,
it
by
is,
the
yeah.
way, so we haven't had that
So
ability
whatever you get
until
in
recently.
your email is highlighted.
All right, well,
And what you're getting in front of you is the same minutes, it's just the highlights are taken off, that's all.
this essentially is forcing Ms. Woodward to have to get it to you by that timeline, just so we have it on paper. Now that we have a video that's published within 7 days, you can see the video and everything clear and concise on the video on YouTube before the public is allowed to see minutes. So that's what we're trying to get, is all those things on the same time.
So can we change section 2 then to read, the draft minutes shall be distributed to all council members the next business day after city clerk has prepared?
That's not part of the KRS, and the next business day is not possible sometimes. There's just no way. There's a
After she's
lot
drafted it,
it's
it's not possible.
to draft the minutes with, like, tomorrow and then have them.
No.
Okay, what are you saying?
No. She drafts them within 5 business days.
Right.
Right?
It sends them to
And
you.
then I'm saying we receive them
Yeah.
the next business day after she drafted them.
Of course.
Okay, but you're saying 7 business days or 7 calendar days.
So I change them all to 5.
So that's all we're saying.
So then what would that look like when we have a caucus meeting and then the Monday after we have a council meeting? When are we going to get those meetings?
Within 5 days. So
So
usually.
that would be Friday.
Uh-huh.
Which wouldn't give us.
But if we're doing it the day after, then that would mean we'd get them by Monday. If it's getting prepared within 5 days and then there's an extra day, business day to send them to us, that's the same day. That's where I'm saying it's hard to approve minutes when we are getting them so close to a meeting.
Sure.
We need time to review. So that's why I'm against this municipal
A
order.
lot of times they're not reviewing them immediately when they're sent, and we're getting responses days later, like I said. So this situation, if there was a meeting next week, you would get the minutes of this meeting as soon as possible. It's obviously within 5 days. So you would have the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and through Monday. I'm asking you to just make a decision at the next meeting. You can discuss your changes at the meeting. We just want to have them passed and not tabled. So if it takes 10, 15 minutes to go over the draft and make our changes in the meeting, I would like for that to happen.
Instead of
Okay, I
table.
mean, we can do that, but I don't think we need a municipal order to tell us to do that.
I'm just tired of having to table minutes, to be honest with you, and that's what it stems from, because you're not supposed to table minutes according to this KRS.
Right, but we shouldn't have to edit the minutes as much as we do either.
I don't think there's really any reason to have any discussion. You can have a transcript from the YouTube videos that we put on there. It's very easy.
Okay, so I mean, I'm open to that.
Mayor, I have a question then.
We see where you're going here. So there was a motion on the table by Mr. Yates to approve. Do I hear any seconds for this with the changes made, the 5 business days to 7, from 7 to 5, or you just want to not hear it at all?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Ms. Bartow. All right.
So I have a question.
Okay, you're going to have another question. Yes, ma'am.
So, in 5 business days, I'm okay with 5 business days, but like today would normally be caucus if we didn't have Christmas. So if we were to get the minutes from from this meeting on Friday, that doesn't give us time to share with the clerk any concerns or changes that we have.
Well, you can, but prior to the next meeting, and then we'll continue to the discussion during the meeting,
The changes to the
just so we can approve the minutes immediately following the previous meeting as the statute states. That's all I'm getting at. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
One name is Spinner. It does pass, quorum 4-1. Thank you very much. All right, announcements. I did speak of this. There is, according to the agenda, no caucus meeting on January 19th unless you call a special meeting, because January 19th is Martin Luther King Day, and the previous ordinance states that there is not city meetings on any federal holidays. So the next council meeting will be January 26th at 6 p.m. Is there other business from the floor?
Question?
From the council, I'm sorry.
Question, I know last meeting we talked about auditor status. Do we have any new information on auditor status?
Nope.
Nothing?
We've reached out to everybody on the list that you've, almost everybody that's local, KYCPAs, the list that you supplied us. Mhm. I don't have any responses as of today, other than the folks that denied previously.
So what do we do?
We still got plenty of time.
Okay.
City of Bellmead is having the exact same problem.
Yeah.
Exact same problem.
Thank you,
Can't
Mayor.
get anybody to do our.
Any other council have any discussion before we move on?
Yeah, a couple things. What's the status of the streetscape? When will that be done?
Well, as you can see, only half of it is pretty much complete at this point. Obviously, the weather played a big factor in that and some of the delays from the beginning. So as soon as it breaks, and it's probably going to be another 4 to 5 weeks before they get started on the other half. So we're going to have to look at half of it the way it is. That's why they pulled all the cones and everything. They're not pouring concrete in this weather right now. And then some of the other issues with LG&E and having to pull power down from other poles and getting those things signed off on. So other than that, though, there shouldn't be any other delays until obviously they block off that other half of the road, which probably won't be until late January, the way it looks now.
I have another question too. Previously, it's been some months ago, we talked about ordinances that we still had listed that were very much out of date.
Sure.
And it was mentioned about going back through the ordinances to make sure that they were still accurate and ones that we should be using. What's the status of that? And what would the process be just to review and make sure that we're following ordinances and that we have ones that are legal still?
Well, I'll first say that those ordinances are available online, open to the public, and so that any suggestions from those folks or even from the council would be welcomed. Whatever's on your mind, which ones stick out to you that you think are outdated or need to be improved
Okay,
or
but there's no
redone.
formal review process or anything?
Not that's been set by this body, no.
Okay.
One thing, how was, I missed it unfortunately, our Light Up? Any report from our Light Up Festival?
We had a great turnout. Yeah, I mean, due to the weather, the previous days before, we moved the tent to the parking lot because of the soggy nature of the field that we usually put the tent in. So we still had a great turnout. Santa arrived on time.
That's important.
There were a few things that were left off the list that, like I said, again, so we did get some money back from, that's not on your treasurer's report, almost $4,000 from the planner because we didn't utilize the horses and some of the other features that had to get left out. So it was bare bones to say the least, but I think everybody that came had fun and it's kind of like our normal festival there where Santa comes and play around, take your family photos and meet and greet and have fun. It's all about the kids.
Since we won't be together again, I believe, before Christmas, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday out there and here.
Thank you. Thank you. We're still going to open the floor to the public if there's nothing further from the council up here this evening. We're going to still try to keep it in 3 minutes and welcome up. If you signed in, come on up. I don't have a sheet to call out names, so and just
Can
be
we
respectful of
just
one another.
Say one thing about our, I think most people know we do have a committee, a Parks Committee, that has been meeting and doing some great
yeah.
things. I cannot wait to reveal some of our plans and some of the things that our community has brought to us that they'd like to see changed. And I want to thank Dr. Erling here for all your input. Thank you so much, and the people that are here that are on the committee. Your information is invaluable. Thank you for being on the committee, and we're moving forward. We're going to have a nice park.
Good. Well,
I mean, we have a nice park now. We're going to do it.
so there will be a report on January's agenda. January's agenda is going to have Parks Committee report because we do meet again before that one, and I think that's the best time then for us to kind of have a lot of those ideas put together for a report for this body. So look forward to that.
Also an update on the Farmers Community Market. I'm not sure exactly what the title's going to be. I don't believe Ms. Davis is here tonight, but she's getting a lot of people interested in this Farmers Community Market idea. So I wish you were here so I could give her kudos because I'm on her Facebook page and some other things. So we're real excited about updating the park and also finally, after so many years of talking about it, maybe finally getting some kind of farmers, food truck, community market kind of thing put together.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Ricketts. Anybody else before I open the floor? I know we have some folks out there. Now's your time. You have to stand up and come on. How you doing, Ms. Meyer?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
First of all, I'd like to thank the council for the vote to deny. We certainly appreciate that. I can say that I represent several individuals in the community, and I can say that we are very, very grateful for that vote. Last time I was here, I had mentioned that we in the community have developed a focus group that's looking at the Middle Fork of Beargrass Creek. We have a core group of 9 at this time. And now that I feel like that I can reach out to the council, and I'd like to know if it's appropriate if I maybe email you and ask you for a representative from the council to participate with our group. What we have looked at is we know we need to do a study, and we know we need to seek funding. And so we will be pursuing those steps as we move forward. Then, secondly, the land preservation of Middle Fork Beargrass Creek is also will be within our focus, because we don't want to do something to manage flood mitigation and then screw up the land preservation and the land around it. So we have representation on our group also that is supporting that initiative, and that's Karen Toole. We have spoken with the beautification committee. Arlene has come forward, and so we are going to interact with that committee and keep focus as ideas on our group come up, like a microforest and things of that nature are in this area. Then those are opportunities for our committees to cross over. Our group does include an engineer and construction individuals, and that are very familiar with this land and this area. We have reached out to Nick Hart, who is with the Kentucky Division of Waterways, and he has provided, and it will be a great resource for us going forward. We know that there are studies going on in 3 other counties about projects in Kentucky, and so we have their resources and access to them for how they're pursuing their financials and how to get their studies for their areas. So I look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next. Anybody else? Okay. Well, hearing none, everybody's ready to get to the holiday.